श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। अखंडमंडलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः।
Namaskar, Sadhak Mandal. I am Pranav Bansode, also known as PK, and we have Devankar, also known as Kalasu. Mandali, in Abhang Katha, we have been discussing Nachiketa's Katha and his dialogue with Yama. Maruti had already told about the two wounds which he asks and what happens with the third wound that we will listen today.
Yeah, so we have seen the Katha of Nachiketa, which comes from Kathopanishad. His father, Rajasrava Rishi, has already performed the Vishwajit Yajna. He has called all the Ritviks from different directions who perform the Yajna. In any Yajna or any sacrifice, there is one Brahmin who supervises the entire sacrifice. There are Hotris who chant mantras from Rigveda, Udgatris who chant mantras from uh, Atharva Veda or this one, yeah, and Samaveda and Advaryu who chant mantras from Yajurveda. So all the Ritviks have come that perform the Vishwajit Yajna. He has started giving away all the wealth that he has, the Godhana, the cattle, everything that he has given. And that is when his son Nachiketa goes and asks him, whom are you giving me to? And annoyed by his question, he says, I'm giving you to Yama, the god of death. So therefore, Nachiketa now enters the Yama Loka or the abode of Yama. There he doesn't receive any hospitality. So when Yama comes after 3 days, he says, as a guest, it is my right to receive hospitality as per the dharmic codes as mentioned in the Vedas, and nobody in your abode has given me that. So Yama is apologetic. He said, okay, I'm sorry about it, and I give you three boons. So through the first boon, he asks that his father should no longer be uh, annoyed with him. His sacrifice is now successful. And once he goes back, he should recognize Nachiketa and receive him gracefully. So his first boon is granted. Secondly, he says, for the entire humanity to enter the heaven, to ascend to the heaven, there should be some sacrifice, there should be some kriya, there should be some protocol or some technique through which they can do it. Yama says, yes, I'm aware of that technique. I'll initiate you into that. So that is also given. Now the third boon, he asks that now he has uh, he's complete or he's satisfied or he has done something for himself and his family. He's done something for the humanity as well. But entering the heaven is still not the final destination of any jiva, because heaven is also a temporary destination only. So the final, he thinks that there should be something that is beyond go entering the heaven. There should be something beyond uh, that cannot be explained or that cannot be visualized or anything. It can only be experienced. There should be something formless or something that is permanent, which is not temporary. And therefore he asks about the Atma and the Atma Jnana as a third boon. Yama is quite surprised, first of all, that a 5-year-old kid is asking about Atma Jnana and spiritual knowledge and all of that. So, but he says, why do you want to know all of that? Instead, I'll give you so many things. I'll give you 1,000 horses. I'll give you the kingdom. I'll give you the palace. I'll give you a huge empire to rule. I'll give you so much of cattle. I'll give you so many farmlands. I'll give you so much of wealth. All see, there is so much that I can give you. So much that I am the god Yama. He's called the Yama Dharma Raja. So I have so many things to offer. Pick anything from this. I'll give you everything if you want. He says, no, 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 no. I want that only. Then he asks so many questions to check, because the spiritual knowledge is anyways not given to anybody and everybody who seeks it. Uh, Not because it shouldn't be given, because the knowledge has to be given to the person who is eligible or who can safely hold it. The Dikari is the person who should get it, and therefore he tries testing whether Nachiketa is eligible. And first of all, he tries everything. Sama, Dama, Danda, Bhed. He's tried to bribe him by giving him wealth, he says. Then he tells him, the sadhana is so difficult, you're a small kid, whether you won't be able to do it, you understand. And so many things he tries to distract him from, but he doesn't get distracted, and he is firm that no, I want that only. I want that final spiritual knowledge only. So Yama is impressed, and he says a beautiful thing there. You have given up prayers to achieve the Shreyas. So something that everybody loves. Uh, जो सबको प्रिय होता है या फिर जो तुम्हें प्रिय है उसको छोड़ के तुम श्रेष्ठ वस्तु की चाहत कर रहे हो. So Shreyas is something that is beneficial. Prayas is something that you love. So you have to leave something that you love to achieve something great. So this is what he says, and then he gives that wonderful spiritual knowledge. It is beautifully explained in the Kathopanishad. The entire Yamanachake Samvad and the philosophy is very, very beautiful. So at the end of the entire conversation, there is the beautiful conversation. There is question and answers. Nachiketa asks, "How is this? How is that?" And Yama himself is a very spiritually uplifted person. He's one of the greatest gurus to have, and Yama explains it in a language that is understandable for that kid. So it is the conversation is very, very beautiful. So try and read, because that's a philosophical conversation where but the story says that at the end of the conversation, Nachiketa has really become one immortal, because he has realized Atma, and Atma in itself is immortal. So this is a story where a mortal being has entered the abode of death and come out immortal. It is so beautiful journey. It's and therefore he attains the spiritual upliftment, the final knowledge, the ultimate knowledge, and goes back to he returns back to his abode, and his both the boons are granted. He is initiated into the sacrifice which can take humans to heaven. His father also receives him gracefully, and he's back with such a beautiful knowledge, and the ultimate knowledge that he then is also able to spread that knowledge to all others who seek it. So that is the story of young kid named Nachiketa from Kathopanishad. It's a beautiful Yama Nachiket Samvad from the Upanishad. And what you think about the story, please let us know in the comments. And the story also signifies the moral of the story is beautiful. That one thing is, of course, if you want to achieve something great, you have to give away something. For example, if you want to score good marks in your exam, you have to definitely give up on sleep and other thing, your entertainment and other thing. Without giving up on what you like doing, cannot achieve something that is great. So that is one of the moral. The moral is he's such a kid, and we say spiritual knowledge is for people who have retired or people who have no other work. They can go to spiritual institutes and spend their time there. Not like that's not true. He's such a small kid, and at a very tender age, he has achieved spiritual knowledge. That seeking of knowledge at that tender age itself is so beautiful, and the distractions at that tender ages are very less, and therefore it is also easily achievable. Therefore I personally advise that every kid should be given at least a little bit of spiritual push from their from the age that they start speaking at a very small age, of 4 5, when they're just starting to learn about the material world, also tell them something about the spiritual world. That's the moral of the story. And I hope you guys, everybody who's watching this video likes this beautiful story and takes the moral home. What do you think about the story? Please let us know in the comments. Like, share it maximum with your friends and families, and we will see you again in the next one with a very interesting story from Upanishads or Puranas. We have no dearth for stories in the Indian spiritual field. In Indian scriptures there are wonderful stories, and we will see you again with one of the interesting stories in the next one. Until then, namaskar. Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj ki Jai.